Yeah, it's interesting. It reminds me of C.S. Lewis's line, and this is a paraphrase, which is that I don't believe in the sun because I stare at it. I believe in the sun because by it I see everything else. And I think that's a little bit about what it's like to examine the Christian system from the inside.
Yeah.
So rather than standing from the outside and saying, does that make sense? What you realize is that once you stand inside the Christian system, it makes everything else make sense. In other words, it's the light that illumines so many problematic areas. And I think that's really key for people who doubt. You've got to sort of think about Christianity holistically, rather than atomistically. You can't just pick out one little thing and say, I don't believe or I don't find that persuasive. Is it as a system coherent and persuasive, and does it answer the big questions of life? And I think that's one of the big things that can help overcome someone's doubts.
It's big picture,
Yep.
and then allowing for mystery,
Yes.
allowing for uncertainties.
Yeah.
And we have that when we start talking about, we talk about children, or we start talking about some big questions, infants. And so right away, it introduces some things that we might have ideas of how this can be worked out, but we can also rest in a good God,
Right.
and so you go to doctrine of God, who can be trusted and yet hasn't revealed to us everything. And I often find myself going back to theology proper, doctrine of God,
Right.
and a recognition that I am not God. And that means there is going to be mystery. And to completely kind of do away with mystery as we're trying to get these answers actually, I think, undercuts Christianity, because there is some paradoxes that we don't exactly know all of how things are going to fit together.
Well, it's actually very comforting for people to know that there's going to be things you don't get and don't understand. I talk to people all the time who are like, well, how can I believe if I don't have a comprehension of that? Or how can I believe if I haven't fully reconciled these two things over here? And I'm like, well, did you expect to understand God fully and comprehensively? Of course there's going to be places that you don't understand fully or can't answer. And I think just hearing from folks in the guild that, look, that's normal. Of course you're not going to have that answer, can be really reassuring to people. They can almost take a sigh of relief and go, okay, so I can still be a believer and have places where I'm still struggling and places where I don't fully understand. And that's actually fairly normal for a finite human being trying to understand an infinite God, and that I can just do what God asked me to do in that and trust him.